Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm sure we have all heard about the threat of the TikTok ban coming into play. This is going to happen in the next couple of days. And so let's just say regardless, even if it doesn't get banned, if it does get banned, we are going to see a huge influx of people from TikTok over to the YouTube platform. And so I think it's really good to kind of get ahead of the wave and start learning how to put your content out in YouTube. I'm going to tell you guys exactly how I would start a YouTube channel if I was starting over in 2025. I also want to be geared towards the person that is working a full-time job, because a lot of us are smaller or newer content creators, and it's going to look totally different compared to the person that has 70, 80 hours a week to film and edit and post and upload and all of that. So if you are either just starting totally from scratch, if you're trying to get the hang of it moving over from TikTok, or if, like I said, you're just kind of working that full-time job and you know that you have opinions and a voice and a talent and something that you want to deliver to the world, YouTube is such an awesome platform to do that on. So if that sounds like something that would be interesting or helpful to you, go ahead and keep watching this video. We're gonna jump right into it. I pretty much work 4 days a week full-time as a dental hygienist, and it is hard to jump into this creative space and have the time and the energy and make it work. But if you want it to work, I know that you can make it happen. I learned this from another creator, but you have to decide, when is this hobby going to be turned into a job for you? So when are you going to start taking it seriously, right? If you are treating YouTube like a side hobby, it is always going to be a side hobby. It's never going to turn into a job for you if you don't treat it like a job. So something that I started doing maybe last year is, I even tell my husband, I'm like, I'm gonna go work on YouTube. I'm working from this time to this time. And you have to think of it like a job. You wouldn't just call out of your job, right? Or you'd say, oh, I think I'll work on it from 1 to 3. Is that what you do at your job? Do you say, I think I'll go to work on Monday and see a few patients? No. Put it into your schedule as if it is a job that you cannot miss. You cannot call out sick and miss your job, or you're gonna get fired. You're definitely not gonna get paid, right? So that's like the first thing I highly recommend, is if you want this to be more than a hobby, don't treat it like a hobby. Treat it like a job that you have a designated time to go to, and you have to make it fit into your schedule. So you need to be honest with yourself. How many hours can you devote to this? Is this a part-time job or is this a full-time job? Chances are, if you are working another full-time job, YouTube is going to now be your part-time job. Congratulations, you just got hired. You are now a part-time YouTuber. But we do have to decide, how many hours can you actually devote to this part-time job, right? Since I'm working Monday through Thursday, I typically devote Friday to filming and then Saturday to editing. And going into this new year, I want to do even more than that. But you need to decide, am I going to post once a week? Am I going to post 3 times a week? Am I more short form content and my long form content? And here's the beauty of it. When you first start out, you don't need to decide. You don't need to decide what your niche is. You're just going to throw everything at the wall and see what sticks. At first, you're just going to do quantity. You're just gonna put out everything. Like, just turn the camera on and just talk and just post and practice editing. We'll get into the editing softwares and stuff, but just kind of practice pushing stuff out and seeing A, what you like to film, because that's going to be what you're best at, and B, what people are responding well to. Times are changing. You absolutely do not need to have a niche anymore. People are going to follow your channel because they like you as a person. They're going to like listening to you, learning from you. They're going to either relate to you, they're going to think you sound like you're their big sister and you're giving advice, or you're teaching them how to do a fitness class, or you're teaching them how to cook, or you're teaching them about wealth management. Whatever you bring to the table, that's why they're there, because they like what you have to offer. You can just talk about anything that you're good at and that you're interested in and see what sticks. So that's what I recommend when it comes down to niche stuff. Just try it all out. For me personally, I do a lot of like hair stuff, beauty and fitness, lifestyle. I find that I'm really interested in budgeting and like wealth investing and stuff like that, and I really want to break into that realm. And I'm even breaking into really talking more about my faith. I haven't on YouTube yet, but I talked about it on TikTok, and it's at like 300,000 views, like the first time I talked about it. So I'll link my TikTok here, but that's also kind of very up in the air if we're gonna have TikTok in like 2 days. So to get monetized on YouTube, you need 4,000 hours of watch time, okay? And this is gonna come from your long form content, not your short. So if you have some short do 1 million views, it literally does nothing for your watch hours. Don't look at your shorts as a way to get watch hours. Think of your shorts as a way to drive traffic to your channel and let people just know like either your humor or like just quick tips and stuff that you're trying to offer. So I've gotten so close, and I've gotten up to like 3,300, and then I got super busy and we got roped into some other things in our life that we're working on right now, and I didn't post for probably like the last month. And then I see those watch hours going down every day. So now, unfortunately, I'm back down like right under 3,000. So I know I'm gonna get it this year, and I know I'm going to be more consistent, but that's pretty much how that works. So shorts don't count, and copyrighted material does count. Like if you have a video that has a copyrighted song or something in it, that counts towards your watch hours, but here's the kicker: once you get monetized, it will not count towards, like you can't make money from that copyrighted video. So if I have my #1 video had the radio on in the back and it's now copyrighted, that video will never make me money, but the watch hours are increasing my watch hours. Does that make sense? The biggest thing that I recommend, and this is like my advice to myself too, going forward, I'm just going to post more, and you get better as you post more. So you're going to become a more eloquent speaker. You're going to realize things that you do on camera. Like one of the best ways to drive up your views is just post more often. You're not going to get 10,000 views on your first video. I mean, maybe you will, but it's actually worse if that happened. You do not want the viral video to bring like fleeting subscribers or viewers. You want to build your subscriber base on people that really enjoy your content and enjoy you, and that you have a relationship with by commenting back to them and putting out stuff that they're asking for. Those viral videos are very fleeting, and so you actually don't really want that to happen. Those work really great on platforms like TikTok, but YouTube is just such a different beast than TikTok or Instagram, and you really have to learn, like the effort that goes into YouTube is just totally different than those other apps and platforms. You want to just put out as much as you possibly can, especially since you're new, especially since you're trying to see A, what you like to film, B, what people like you to film, C, what is easiest to fit into your schedule. But enough about that. Let's talk about equipment that you need. You do not need anything fancy to start a YouTube channel. You can literally film on your phone with your front or back camera is gonna be better quality. I do use an actual camera when I'm filming, and I have 3 different cameras, but I pretty much only film on the one that I'm using right now at the moment. I thought this camera that I'm using would be like the best camera ever, and I'm getting frustrated with it because of like the focus. It's really just something I need to Google, so I'm not even gonna get into that, but the focus is off a lot, like it blurs me out. Anyway, I'm gonna talk about the 3 cameras that I have. So I have this one, which I can show better when I'm not using it, obviously, but you can see the camera flips out like that, and it helps me see myself in the viewer. I've had a comment that like me looking at the viewfinder versus the camera has been a little bit distracting. Maybe I'll get better at looking straight into the camera. I don't know. It's clearly something I need to work on as well. Now my old camera went up like this. This is a Sony a5000, and that helped a little bit with that because when you're looking here, your eyes are still in the right plane. The problem with that is when I was trying to show things in the camera, like if I'm doing a makeup video and I'm like, hey, look at this. I covered, like I don't know, I couldn't really always see what I was seeing, you know, versus when I'm looking at the one on the side. I've noticed makeup videos get much easier because I'm showing the product and it's not in the way. It's just like to the side. So that's a pro that I have for my new Sony, which I will link in the description. And then my last camera is actually a Nikon. I'm not gonna grab it right now. I'll show it in another video. And it does not autofocus. Like if I do this, this one focuses on my hand, and then it focuses back to me. That's really useful for me because of the kind of content that I do. Now, if you think that you are gonna be more of like a point and shoot and you're staying in this frame the entire time, then something like that could be perfect for you. Anyway, that's enough about cameras because like I said, it really does not matter. You can just start off with like something super basic and work your way up when you can afford it, or you can use your phone. The problem with using your phone is storage. So let's talk storage for a second. I have a ton of SD cards. I get the big ones, but I keep them in a little book like this. And again, I'll link everything below, and you can just like put your SD cards here so that they're safe and you can travel with them. So I do recommend a little like holder like this, because especially if you're filming a lot or you're on a trip and you're doing like a vlog, you do not want to run out of space and have to like delete things or upload and work on all blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Just bring backup SD cards when you're doing any sort of like mobile filming. I'm actually charging my backup battery right now. So I have like a few backup batteries for my Sony that I'm using right now. And I have this, it literally just plugs into the wall and it's a battery charger. I pretty much always have one battery charging or charged, like ready to go, so that when this one dies, I can just switch it out and keep going. Nobody has time for technology problems. I will tell you, that is the most frustrating thing about becoming a content creator, is technology problems, storage problems, editing problems, uploading speeds, all of that kind of stuff. Personally, I can't. While we are on the topic of storage, I want to talk about my external hard drive that I have. So this is it. I have a 4 terabyte external hard drive, and I just keep it right there next to my computer. This is the Mac Mini. Let me just kind of explain how I run with my hard drive. Let's pretend I want to film a video. I put in a new SD card, a new battery, we film, la 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 la, and then I take this out, I plug it in, I download everything onto my desktop. You're gonna wanna work from your desktop. When you're editing a video, always work from your desktop because it's gonna be faster. If you download your SD card to your hard drive, it has to travel further to get to your editing app. Does that make sense? I'm using CapCut to edit. I use CapCut to edit my shorts, my reels, TikTok stuff, and my YouTube videos. Now, when I'm editing YouTube videos, I never, ever, ever edit on my phone. But when I'm editing shorts and reels and like the vertical form content, I do all of that on my phone. You can do whatever you want. I like to edit my YouTube videos on a desktop. Again, if you are just starting out, maybe you literally don't have a computer yet, you can edit on a laptop, or you could edit on your phone. I do think it's like kind of hard, honestly. I like having an actual mouse to like click, you know, edit that way. Once you're done making your video, at that point, you want to, if you want to hang on to the content, you can move it all to the hard drive, or you can just move your finalized video to the hard drive. On the editing note, I pay for Canva. So I don't pay for CapCut. Maybe at some point I will. I pay for Canva. There's also a free version. So you are a new content creator, you don't need to be spending a lot of money. You can use the free versions of all of this stuff, which makes it super easy. I'm using Canva for all of my thumbnails. So easy to use. It says it right on there, like YouTube thumbnail, pulls the right size for you. It has templates for you. You can drag in your pictures, do your wording. It's just like a really, really great way to make visuals. I've used Canva to make like our wedding invitations, our menus, our save the dates. Like I use it for everything, which is why I pay for it, but it's really worth it to me. Another tool on Canva that I think is really cool is you can remove the background of anything. So instead of having a big white block of a picture, you can download it without the background. I think that's in the paid for version, but I use that a lot when I'm making videos. Like I'll do an example right here. I'll put something without a background. You see, it just looks nicer, pops up clean and crisp on your video, and it helps people like have a visual with what you're talking about. So I really like using Canva for that reason. So my two editing softwares, CapCut and Canva. Those are my like number ones. There's of course things like Final Cut Pro. That's I think $300. And it's just too steep for me. And I've done the trial and I didn't find that it was like any different than Canva for what I'm using. So definitely as a first time or smaller content creator, you do not need to go splurge on some crazy editing software. Literally use iMovie. I used iMovie for the longest time. So I'm gonna talk about lighting real quick and show you like 3 different options. Right now I'm using this light, which is really just a makeup mirror light, and natural light. I'm sitting in front of a huge window and it really helps me get a lot of really good light as I'm speaking. Now if I were to turn the side light off, it looks like this. And if I were to close the blinds, it looks like this. No one is gonna watch your videos if you are sitting in the dark and speaking to them like this. Like, it doesn't matter if what you're saying is amazing, they're not gonna listen to you if it looks like this. So you really need to up your lighting game. So whether that's fake lighting only, and if I was only using fake lighting, like say it's nighttime, because remember, we are working girls and we don't have time in the day. I would sit in front of a fake light like this, and this specific light, you can change the tone. So I feel like this is like the cleanest color, so I have that just coming in on me, and then I also open the blinds, and then it's just so much better. So I know we're working, and I know it's really hard to find that natural light if you're working all day, but unless you're working 7 days a week, you can find natural light. Just make it happen on a weekend. Like I said, set aside that 3 to 5 hours that you're doing your part-time job and you are at work, and no one can disrupt you and no one can bother you, and you can't make other plans because you have to go to work because the sun's out. Okay, I literally texted my friends that earlier today. We're supposed to go to a dinner and they were talking about an early dinner, and I was like, I'm working on YouTube, I need my sunlight. You just have to start making these boundaries for yourself and let people know that this is a job to you. This is something that you're taking super, super seriously. Try to take advantage of weekends or days that I start late. Like Monday, I start a little bit late, and I try to get natural light. You also can do, like I showed you, this kind of makeup mirror situation. I also have like massive ring lights, like this guy, which I don't really use very often. He's not plugged in, so I won't blind you. You also can get like a little ring light. I just have lights within an arm's reach in every direction, but something like this can be really good. You can turn this on right behind your camera and it can light you up. I think that was a lot of info to get started. I have so many ideas. Stay tuned for the next video. I really want to talk about trends in 2025 because I think starting a channel in 2025 is so different than had you started in 2024. So stay tuned. I'm going to be doing a part 2 of how to start your YouTube channel in 2025 very, very soon. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave comments down below if you have any questions at all for me. I will definitely be answering them as I do these subsequent videos on how to start your YouTube channel in 2025. Thank you guys so much for watching, for supporting me. We are on that track together to get to 4,000 hours and get monetized this year. If that is your goal, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and let's do it together. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.